So, hope everybody's day is better than mine. Let's just go with that. I'm going to blame the full moon and leave it at that. That'll do to start. How am I? Not great. I am tired and worn out and fed up and just all stuff that isn't fun to talk about. So we'll try and find more pleasant topics. Oh, morning from Australia. Oh. Say hi to Crispy Pro for me. I assume you all know each other. And that's the way it works in Australia, right? What's today's water, good sir? Today's water is Riesling. Do you want puns to make you feel better? I'm sorry, that sentence doesn't actually make sense. Puns to make someone feel better. Oh dear, what a terrifying concept. Just chilling with Joker and Totoro. Yeah, and Hedwig and Fozzie Bear, and who else can you see from there? No Face and Wonder Woman. I swear I haven't been drinking prior to this starting. What's your personal treatment for an ear infection? Going to the hospital, which I know under the circumstances isn't actually the best option, so I don't know. I've never actually had an ear infection formally. I scraped my eardrum once, and that was bad. Like that hurt, and I went to the hospital for that. Mind if I use this stream to seek refuge from a Star Wars comment section? Oh, dear God, yes, please, come. Seek shelter. Be safe. My God. But that way madness lies. Why would you do that? Cheers from Kosovo. Hey there. How's quarantine treating you? It's driving me absolutely up the wall. Could you rank your least favorite episodes of Doctor Who? The thing is, once I'm further, there's a couple of episodes, specific ones that I need to rewatch. But once I'm a little bit further into my revisit of earlier stuff, I am going to have to redo my 10 worst episodes of Doctor Who list. But there's some things that I need to watch again with fresh eyes to determine whether or not they either would be on there or would stay on there versus the last time I did it, which was a long time ago. How are you spending quarantine? I'm doing a lot of drying and my hay fever is going wild. I'm working. See, like, here's the thing. I'm able to do my job from home, which on the one hand is good because, you know, I'm having no interruption to my income. But on the other hand, you know, I see people offering advice, you know, oh, things to do with the extra time you have, which I don't because I still have an 8-hour workday 5 days a week. So I don't actually have any more time during quarantine. I'm just working in the same place. I just don't drive home at the end of the day because I'm already here. That's seriously the only difference for me right now. Have you ever watched Zathura? It was the sequel to Jumanji before Welcome to the Jungle. I did. I remember thinking that it was fine and kind of leaving it at that. What is the Star Wars comment section? A place not to be trodden. Hey, just got here. Hey there, Ben. Is that an asexual flag hoodie? I don't think so. Well, Might be. I don't know the asexual flag colors. So if it is, unintentionally. Tell me I'm not the only one spending the quarantine impersonating the stereotypes of a Hufflepuff, food and drink obsessed. No, you are probably not alone on that. My friend's forcing me to watch Shadowhunters, so in turn I'm making her watch Merlin. Well, you know, that is only fair. I am currently working my way through American Gods, which I'm not going to talk about too much because that's gonna get a review. Custard creams or jammy Dodgers? I know, decisive. I don't know either one particularly well. I've had jammy Dodgers, I think, once, and from what folks told me, they were like not even the good ones. So I can't tell you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some fortune cookies because someone was nice enough to PayPal me money to get Chinese food, which was immensely appreciated. Thank you very much. It did help a little. I wish I could say my day improved. It really didn't, but... Did you watch Star Wars, the Clone Wars series? I have not. Oh, virtual hug. Thank you, Tracy. You know, just listen to me crunch on this. My fortune says, great, you're ready for a party. Woo! Cheers. Since you have your address in the description, have you ever had a fan show up at your house? Well, no, because that's a P.O. box. I don't live at the post office. So, no, that has not happened. Have you seen the 6th Doctor episode, Time Lash? If so, I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen that one yet. Ace is black, gray, white, and purple. So no, because I've got navy, gray, and purple is what I've got. Backing up. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that I'm a Ravenclaw. Very cool, Connor. Tried watching Tiger Kings for 10 minutes, thought it was stupid. I've had a lot of people tell me I should watch it. It's the kind of thing that if I'm going to watch it, I need to watch it with someone else who I can riff on it with. It's not the thing it's not the kind of thing I can just sit in my house and watch on my own. Because, like, honestly, and I say this legitimately, I used to watch and enjoyed stuff like Jersey Shore and Flavor of Love. But the reason I enjoyed those things is because I watched them with someone who I could riff on them with, and we drank while we watched. I'm on my own right now, so Tiger King holds very little appeal. I wonder if this quarantine is how the 3rd Doctor felt on Earth. Can't be a million miles off. Beware of fortune. Don't want repeat of Freaky Friday. Oh. It's disgusting how in the Bells of St. John, the Doctor puts the already eaten cookie back on the plate. I actually forgot about that, and I rewatched that one recently. Thank you, Charleston. Weird question. Presuming they wouldn't try and kill you, which Doctor Who monster or alien would you most like to date? All right. On the promise that she couldn't kill me, or leave me in a situation where I would die, I'd go with Missy. What do we got this time? In human endeavor, chance favors the prepared mind. I don't know. Is this preparation? I'm going to say that it is. So thank you for that, Charleston. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Is this stream a party? The stream is always a party. Yep. Yes, it is. can't believe Joe Exotic ran for president. See, that's the funny thing. I knew the name Joe Exotic way before Tiger King was a thing because I remember a clip of him trying to run for president that John Oliver used, like, I guess it'd be about 4 years ago now, during the 2016 election. Fish fingers and custard, or custard and fish fingers? Ooh, oh, so tricky. To pass the quarantine, me and my mom are doing a massive rewatch of New Who. Just finished Day of the Moon. Made me think about watching everything from River's View. It's quite tragic. I keep meaning to sit down and I know other people have done it, but I don't want to look it up. I want to figure it out for myself. What the chronological order of River Song episodes would be, like from her point of view. Some of it, unfortunately, gets a little bit twisted because there are some episodes in which she appears as a younger and then older version of herself. Something like Day of the Moon, because River Song older is in it, but then we know by the end this little girl we see is, so you have to judge where you put something like that. But it's one of those things that I meant to do, was figure out a chronological watching order for River Song episodes. Do you think it would be a good idea if Joe Martin played the 14th Doctor in a Tom Baker, the old favorite style thing? I'm not sure what you mean by Tom Baker old favorite style. I actually, at this point, I do think she should just play the 14th Doctor. I think that would be very cool. I remember when I took the Pottermore quiz, house quiz, I chose all the Slytherin things. See, I didn't, not on purpose anyway, but I ended up there, so apparently I just lean that way. What's your favorite author? That, ooh. Favorite author? Probably still Douglas Adams. Neil Gaiman's up there, though, too. What's the black thing on your back? I see what you did there. Remember the Mandarin hated fortune cookies? I would take Sutek. I have a thing for evil voices. That is a good voice. Although, that, if you like that voice, that means you could also go with the Beast. You got options. Ooh, double date. Also, greetings from my old man cat, Roland, as he is being exceptionally lovely just now. I imagine that most people's cats either think the quarantine is the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, depending on the nature of the pet and how much they actually like being around their people. I'm sure dogs are thrilled. I bet you some cats are pissed. Who is the filthiest doctor, virus-wise? I don't know. Probably the second Doctor. Maybe the fourth. No, it'd be the fourth, because he's sticking his hand in the jelly babies, offering them to other people. Oh yeah, he's a carrier. Thank you, randomness. All quarantine and no play makes Lewis a dull boy. Yeah, sounds about right. Am replaying Mario the 1,000-Year Door and can hardly wait for your review of the cheesiness. Yes. So I don't usually announce ahead of time things that I've been commissioned to review, except Jolie actually brought it up, that I've now been commissioned to review the video game Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door, which I've never played before. I've gotten a copy, which was a little trickier than I expected to be, but I did manage to get one. And hopefully I'll get to that soon. I've got a number of other commission things I need to get through first. My cousin has had her baby. Her name is Kaylee. Aw, that's sweet. One of Liz's co-workers had a baby. What lipstick color is it that you're wearing? It's a stunning color on you. This shade is called My Natural Lip Color. That's just me. I'm behind on questions. No one knows what order River's timeline is actually in. We just hope the current one is correct. Dang it. Saw a story. Dog sprained its tail from wagging. I think I heard that. Is it sad that my life is the equivalent of the lyrics of City on Fire from Sweeney Todd? Oh, yeah. Mischief! Mischief! Dogs haven't had this much walk since Pokemon Go dropped. That's probably true. My 5 cats won't leave me be. Well, that'll keep you busy. Is it sad that my life is the equivalent? Oh, no, I read that. Blah. Okay. This is probably the dumbest question ever. Probably not, but we'll see. But in Series 12, Episode 5, Jack has a working vortex manipulator as he teleported. Hold on. Ah, dang it. Urgh. Stupid thing. Stop moving. Dang chat. There's a pause feature on this thing, but I can never get it to function reliably. All right, this is probably the dumbest question ever, but in Series 12, Episode 5, Jack has a working vortex manipulator as he teleported in to meet Graham. Why did he steal the ship? Well, you still have to have somewhere to teleport them to, and I would imagine Jack probably stole the ship because he's Jack. How is Jack ever going to end up with a ship? He's going to steal it. That's just kind of how he rolls. Like, best case scenario, he'll win it in a bet. But odds are he'll steal it. Where can we get it? Where can you get what? I don't know what the topic was for that question. Highly recommend Ghostbusters, the video game. Warning, Bill Murray phones in his performance. I've got so many games that like I own but haven't played and would like to. But like I said, I don't actually have more time on my hands. So... You mentioned you didn't get the War Doctor even after listening to a box set where he's on his own. Why would you say that is? I'm not actually going to answer that because the review of that box set goes up on Sunday. So stay tuned. Your natural lip color looks good on you, honestly. Not like my pale, sickly little lips. Hey, you know, we've all got a different thing going on. Do you watch BoJack Horseman? No, because I do not want to be that depressed. Are we in the Purge prequel? I've never actually seen the Purge movie. Like, I know the premise. Was there a plague as part of the build-up to the Purge? Because I feel like the virus is the one that's is doing the Purge. I saw your video on Dead Poets Society. What other films do you think the same about? Oh, jeez. Well, like, I'll give you an example. It's a very different film, but I'll tell you a movie that I like because I saw it at the exact right time in my life to see it. And if I'd seen it earlier, I wouldn't have known what to make of it. And if I'd seen it much later, I wouldn't have appreciated it because it needs to be seen, or I think it plays best to young people, youngish, and that's A Clockwork Orange. I saw that, I was 20, I think. Yeah, it was 20 when I saw Clockwork Orange, which is kind of the perfect age to see that movie at. But if I hadn't been right in the sweet spot first time I saw it, I probably wouldn't like it because I can look at it and go, there's a lot that's I'm pretty sure if I saw it for the first time now, I wouldn't care for it much, but there you go. Jack stole his ship in The Empty Child. He's been a thief since day one. Yeah, that was kind of my point, but yes. This stupid thing is pissing me off. The lip shade, I think, and I think that Han Solo is the Star Wars version of Jack. Yeah, probably the closest. Don't know if you ever played Animal Crossing. No, I never have. But it's very gender fluid friendly. Oh, that's good. It's not my kind of game. Those sorts of unwindy, relax, do what you like games like that and The Sims, I need a goal. I need something that I'm working towards. You know, that's more tangible than just make your house prettier, collect some bugs. I'm like, no. Like, give me some. I don't necessarily need something to fight, but like, give me a puzzle to solve or something to hit. Or I need more than that. Listening to Jubilee again the other day, and the Sixth Doctor's final speech gave me goosebumps. Jubilee really is a great story, which I do think honestly is a good entrance point for anybody thinking, anyone who knows modern Doctor Who and is thinking about trying Big Finish. Jubilee's I honestly think might be the best one possible to try as your first. Have you ever seen the TV series Life on Mars? No, it's been brought up. It's got John Sim in it. People have asked me that one sporadically. It's one of those ones that I've long said, like, I'm not against watching, but like, it's a lack of time. It's one of those things that somebody's probably going to need to commission me for me to make it a priority and actually get around to it. And I also kind of know the twist. I'm not going to say it, but I think I heard you don't watch Rick and Morty. Why? Because I gave it 3 episodes, and at that point, I made the decision, like, I can see why people like this. It's very intelligently written, but I'm not in the mood for anything this cynical, and I don't like spending time with any of these people. These are all terrible people, and that's not even like a fault. That's a feature. That's part of how the show's built. But like, I don't want to spend time with any of them. So, yeah. Rose Tyler or Clara Oswald? Rose Tyler. Look, Rose is not that high on my list, but I'll take her over Clara. I wouldn't say BoJack is depressing. Okay, that's a lie. Yeah, see? There you go. But it's a weird kind of depressing, like a happy, truthful escapism depressing. Yes, that's as oxymoronic as it sounds. Yeah. Are you on Reddit? Technically, I have an account on Reddit. It's under Vera Wild. It's not under Council of Geeks, but I'm not on there very much. I can't remember if you answered this, but do you think a silent Doctor Who episode could work? Maybe. I don't know. Those kinds of gimmicky episodes are really tough, and Doctor Who hasn't done gimmick episodes very well most of the time. So, I mean, like, could it? Yeah. Do I want them to try? Not really. Although that said, the fact that they seem to have really gotten a much more dynamic crew going behind the camera and with the cinematography and everything else, if they were gonna try it, this is probably the best time with the sort of way the show's being shot right now. About to finish the Deathly Hallows audiobook read by Jim Dale. The 2 worst things about the series so far are Order of the Phoenix and Luna's voice. Wow. I don't know how Jim Dale does Luna's voice. Order of the Phoenix is tough. That's a hard one for me to get through. And I'm right now I'm reading Goblet of Fire to my kids, so that means Order of Phoenix is up next. Hey. Do you have heard of Daz Black? No and no. Do you enjoy horror games? Not especially. I don't like being tense, particularly. I don't take a lot of enjoyment out of that. Horror films can work for me sometimes, but that's in a much more limited space. That's 2 hours in which I'll be tense. The idea of playing a horror game and being tense hour after hour after hour, yes, you can break from it. But like for a collective multi-hour experience of just being tense, that's not my idea of a good time. Could you sell your lip color as Council of Geeks brand colored lipstick? If I knew anything about sourcing lip shades, I'd totally be up for it. You have a goal in Animal Crossing, it's to get out of crippling debt. Yes, but the only way to get to do anything is by acquiring more debt, or have I misheard that? Have you watched either and besides, I spent enough time in my real life trying to get out of crippling debt. I'm playing that game already. Have you watched either the original or newest Twilight Zone series? I adore the original, and honestly, the new one isn't bad. I haven't seen any of the new one. I have seen some episodes of the original, and dang, that really is a good show. Have you ever played an escape room? Once, as a team building exercise at my job. That's the only time I've done an escape room. It was all right. It was fine. What is Big Finish? Big Finish is a company in the UK that produces audio dramas, and they have the Doctor Who license, so they have done a lot of audio dramas with various doctors, including classic and some of the more recent ones as well. They never get the current Doctor, and they haven't gotten Capaldi. I don't think they've gotten Smith, but they've gotten Tennant. They've had War Doctor with John Hurt before he passed. They've had some that focus on side characters. They've had some based around Unit. They've had some based around... Missy got a series. There was one around Derek Jacobi's War Master. And there have been classic stories done with Paul McGann, so the 8th Doctor, Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor, Peter Davison, the 5th, Colin Baker, the 6th. Colin Baker comes off great in audio. 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, they've all had audio adventures, and Big Finish is, they do good stuff. I haven't loved absolutely everything I've heard from them. I had made the mistake of listening to Phantasmagoria, but they do good work. Like, do you think Big Finish should do Red Dwarf audio dramas? Yeah, I think that team could work in audio form, sure. Have you seen Midsummer? No, I have not. Love and Monsters doesn't make me angry because they still carried on doing Dr. Light episodes. I admire the fact they didn't pander, kept on trying, and as such we got Blink. I mean, like... At this point, I will defend the initial kernel of a concept of Love and Monsters. But man, the execution's a disaster. Even knowing what they're going for, even being as generous as I can with what it's trying to say, I still think it's a mess. But that said, like... I don't hate it the way I hate some episodes of it. I don't hate the way I hate The Idiot's Lantern. I hate that episode so much. Is Big Finish free where you can find it? It is not free. No, sir. You can buy either physical discs. Don't have any in reach. They're all over there. Or you can get digital, but you do have to pay for it. So that's part of why I recommend Jubilee, because you can't just go, oh, it's free, I'll listen to whatever. It's not like YouTube. You got to pay to listen. So Jubilee is a good one to start with, because Big Finish audio adventures aren't exactly cheap. So when you get, especially your first one, you want to get one that's really good. See, I don't really want Jo Martin to be 14, but I think it would be so damn cool if she turned up for the 60th, also more time for the 8th in the special, please. Yeah, I mean, I'd be more than happy to see Paul McGann in that outfit again. What is your part of Vermont like? Vermonty? I don't know how to answer that. It's you can't find a flat stretch of land that goes on for more than maybe 100 yards before you're either going uphill or downhill. It's cold more months in the year than it's warm. But when it's wet, when it is warm, it can be blazingly so. It gets very humid. And the foliage is amazing. I just ordered the 13th Doctor Funko Pop. Was it worth purchasing? I don't know. I've never actually bought a Funko Pop. The 1, 2, 3 that I have were all gifts. So I've never actually bought one myself. Quick, name 3 roles that were played by David Bradley. William Hartnell, the First Doctor, and Argus Filch, and Salazar, and Sir Red Wedding. What's his face? You know who I mean. I am so far behind on these questions. You're going to watch the new Red Dwarf special coming out. I have at least 1 or 2 series worth that I should probably catch up on first. Although Red Dwarf continuity isn't really a thing. So I guess I don't have to. I don't know. I hadn't thought about it yet. Do you think there will be a 60th anniversary special for Doctor Who? I'd like there to be. I don't know. Do you enjoy dark humor? Yes, but big pulsating asterisks on that. Because so many people I know use the phrase dark humor basically just to mean being cruel and claiming it's funny. And that's not dark humor, that's being a sadist. So, yes, I do enjoy dark humor. However, I don't enjoy a lot of the stuff that claims to be dark humor. So, like, Futurama has a lot of dark humor. Red Dwarf has a lot of dark humor. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has a lot of dark humor. There's a lot of humor made about death, about existential dread, about the futility of existence. But the point is not to be mean to someone and then go, ha ha. Because then you're just Nelson Muntz. And that's not dark humor, that's being a jerk. Whatever you do, don't listen to Necromatia. It's the worst bit of Doctor Who ever, worse than Hellbent. Okay, well now you actually have me curious. So, and something tells me that might have been your intent all along. Big Finish story I really wanted to get to is The Light at the End, the anniversary story, but I'm hesitant to pay full Big Finish prices. That's legitimate. Most of the Big Finish stuff I've bought during sales. So I feel you on that. Just sort of 13. Oh, that was the Funko Pop. Guess that question got asked again. Do you think Peter Cushing is a canon doctor now? I doubt it. Because, like, isn't he firmly established in those movies to actually be a human being? I still haven't seen those movies. I need to. That's on the... Oh, goodness. That's on the to-do list with a bunch of other stuff. The early Big Finish Doctor Who stories are super cheap. That's true, but I do think you got to be careful about what ones you get. So, like, the first one I listened to was, I think the first one they did, Sirens of Time, which was pretty good, but not nearly indicative of how good they would be later on. Big Finish are making some random stories free each week at the moment. Was listening to War Doctor 1. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Innocence went up free. I reckon that a good idea would be for them to actually state that the Master is the timeless child. That would add to his motivation. What do you think? I mean... Can't escape this friggin' thing. And this concept of, how do we fix it? All right, look. If they were going to do this idea at all, making the Master the timeless child instead of the Doctor would have made a lot more sense. So, in terms of when they did it, that's what they should have done instead of what they did. But they didn't do it. So claiming that now will come across as nothing other than them scrambling, going, oh God, people didn't like it. And look, here's my general thing with retcons. Something is only worth retconning if the current status quo actively makes it difficult to tell stories anymore. So, like, retconning Sherlock Holmes that he didn't die in The Final Problem is the only way you get more Sherlock Holmes stories. That's a necessary retcon. But I honestly do not feel it is worth the time and the effort to retcon something that you actually don't even have to acknowledge. If Chibnall or anybody, let's move on from Chibnall. If whoever takes over doesn't like the Timeless Child thing, I would much rather they ignore it and never touch it, never bring it up, than to build stories around trying to fix it. Because that's the kind of continuity circle jerk that DC has been doing for decades, and it's not fun. Tell a good story. If something in the past sucked, ignore it. You only have to retcon it if leaving it as is cripples your ability to tell future stories. And The Timeless Child, honestly, as much as I hate it, doesn't do that. Just ignore it. And you can see I'm prone to being worked up a little bit. That frustration was not directed at the person who asked the question. Just in general. Let's see. All right. I keep trying to keep up with the questions, but then they're zooming. No question, just much love. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. These things are zooming by me. I got to stop trying to keep up. Black humor and cringe humor is not the same. Yes, I agree. But I see a lot of cruel cringe humor that people claim is black humor, and it's not. Did you watch the Elijah Wood Dirk Gently series? Nope. I never did get around to that. I wanted to. I found myself liking Order of the Phoenix more as I've gotten older, particularly the stuff with Umbridge in the school. Stephen Fry does a great Umbridge, by the way. I could believe that. Me, when someone says, don't be sad, be happy. My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that? I know, right? Would you want Cassandra to return? Why? That's honestly my question for the first time they brought her back. Why? Actually, being serious, don't listen to Necromadia. It's so not worth it. You'll be bored and cringing and very outraged. I mean, bored is the worst thing you can say about any piece of entertainment. Because, I mean, you can be energized with something making you angry. When something's boring, it's just like, ugh. What's your most forgettable episode of Doctor Who? I don't remember. I just got my Big Finish audios on Audible. Say that 5 times fast. Use my monthly free credit to get one. Do they have a lot of Big Finish actually on Audible? I know there are like Doctor Who books that are available as audiobooks there, but what would you say is the worst movie you've ever seen? From any technical level, probably Robot Monster. I don't think it's the worst movie I've ever seen, but I remember the first movie I hated. I'd had movies I didn't like before, but the first movie I hated was Dead Man, which was a Jim Jarmusch movie. War Master Series 1 starts out okay, but then whoa, you know? And for me, it didn't hook me at the front either very well. Some will hate me for this idea, but Big Finish subscription service, you're far from the first one to float it. I mean, the issue is that the reason their prices are as high as they are is because they actually run at a fairly tight margin. Because you look at some of the actors that they get, and they have to schedule around these people. They have to schedule everything else around their availability. They need to get these people in, and they need to go through all this production. And they do not, even the best-selling Big Finish story is not going to be heard by a fraction of the people who watch any given episode of Doctor Who. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that if they could afford to sell the things for a little bit less than they do, they would. But I think, I know it's been floated at them by people. I don't know if they've ever seriously considered it, but I think the issue would be, I don't know if their business model could sustain itself on a subscription service. Will you ever take a sponsor deal? If yes, what type of sponsor? I have been sponsored. I've been sponsored a few times. I've been sponsored by the Radio versus the Martians podcast. I've been sponsored by Dashlane. I've been sponsored by Skillshare. I've been sponsored by Cause Daddy. And this podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadowlet. No. As if. Actually, funnily enough, they reached out to me. The thing is, I actually do get sponsorship offers that I turn down for various reasons. Either because I feel suspicious about the person reaching out to me. A usual early warning sign is they're claiming to be from some company or other, but they have an @Gmail email address they're reaching out to me from. But even some of the ones that are legitimate, I've looked into what it is they want me to promote, and I'm like, I am not comfortable doing that. So look, I have standards, but I am for sale. I am more than happy to do sponsorships, assuming they're ones that I'm comfortable with. Being honest, I think whoever the Timeless Child is just takes away the character's agency, and that probably irritates me the most. I think whether or not it takes away character's agency in the grand scheme is going to depend on what they do with that storyline. I just hate it for how important it makes the Doctor. So that's the thing. The idea of the Timeless Child in and of itself, I don't hate, I don't love either. It's the idea of the Doctor being the Timeless Child that I hate. Anything could happen with the Timeless Child due to the redacted section from the Matrix. You could easily explain that the pre-Hartnell Doctors were a separate person from the child. Look, you can, but I don't want them to. And again, I'm coming back to the same thing. I don't want them to spend time fixing or clarifying it. I just want it ignored. I know that there are things they could do, or that people have speculated they could do, or suggested, or whatever. I don't care. Just don't ever talk about it again. That is my honest recommendation. It's not what'll happen, but that's it. That's it for me. Stop asking about the Timeless Child. I can feel my blood pressure rising. And no, the worst film ever is Birdemic. I refuse to watch Birdemic. We know the Timeless Child is really the Ronnie. It's never the Ronnie. Battery going, flat and fiber issues means time for sleep. Night, and thanks. Love to all the castle. Well, thank you for stopping in, Amanda. Let's see. Do you plan on getting the Ace Doctor Who book at Childhood's End? I would like to. I don't really have the time to read it, so I don't currently have plans. The War Master series one starts out okay, but then, whoa, War Master series I thought was brilliant. Okay, hate me. I think it'd be cool to bring Clara back. You don't have to leave, but go in the corner and think about that. There are a couple on there. For example, Jubilee, the Holy Terror Chimes of Midnight, but most of them are just compilations of stories read by individual people. Yeah, that's what I figured was mostly on Audible. And those sorts of things don't do as much for me. Have you heard of all the roll swap hype? So basically, Sasha Dewan being the master and Jodie Whittaker, Sasha Dewan being the doctor, Jodie Whittaker being the master. No, I hadn't heard that. What do you mean by hype? Like people just hyped about the idea? Because I can't imagine that they're actually gonna do that. What is your name? My name's Nathaniel, or Vera. Depends on the day and the context in which you are seeing me. There's a lot of older Big Finish on Spotify and Audible. I recently listened to the first 10th Doctor Adventure on Audible. Oh, might have to look into that. Thank you for turning down the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. You're welcome. I do it for you, folks. Like I said, I'm not above taking a sponsorship, but I don't want to push anything on you folks that I think you wouldn't actually take enjoyment out of or isn't worth your time. Maybe a credits-based subscription service. I don't know enough about how you could possibly put that stuff together to say. Yeah, fan fiction and stuff like fan art, not canon. I laughed so hard at your reaction to the question about Clara coming back. You're such a dad. 'Tis true. 'Tis most true. Jackie Tyler or Nanny Umbreen? I'm Jackie Tyler, I suppose. Crap, now I have to go. Thanks for entertaining me tonight. Well, thanks for stopping in. I know I've been a little bit on the grumpy side this evening. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Carolyn. I do need to check the Discord. The hairdressers are going to be really full when lockdown is over. I have an appointment already. The question right now is whether I'll need to push it out further from where it currently is, which might have to happen. I've already done it once. Wait, before I go, it's Jackie Chan's birthday. Oh, cool. Okay, so hang on. I gotta hop over to the Discord, see what's going on over there. And I'm starting to slur my speech. So, you know I'm having a good time. Seriously, you guys. I just turned into Shelly from South Park. Shut up, turds! Okay. Do your clocks move for summertime in the U.S.? Yes, we have daylight savings. It's very, 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 very stupid. Oh no, the Arachnos. Oh yes, I suppose that as well. My children will feast upon you. Oh, that was not a live stream question. Whoops. Let's see. That wasn't really a question. Sorry, I'm going quiet while I'm reading these. There was actually conversation that happened in the Discord, and so I'm just trying to find if any of these are actual questions that they wanted answered on the chat. Okay, this isn't a question, but I'm going to read it anyways. Not a question yet, just to say that I think your content is appreciated even more by many at this time. I'm separated from my family and at home by work and lockdowns and thousands of miles. Oh. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Classic version companions you have seen. Snog, marry, avoid. Ooh. So I think it would probably be Snog Ace, marry Jamie, avoid Victoria. We saw Clockwork Orange in college, now class in high school. Wow, I'm surprised they showed it to you at that age. What's your most loved useless skill? Mine is that I can write my surname with my left and my last name with my right at the same time. Pretty sure what I do on YouTube could be considered a useless skill. I don't know. I hadn't thought of that. Is it too soon for Ezra Miller jokes? Ugh. Oy. That. Ah. Not that I much cared. I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller, but oh, God's sake. Right, it's my duty to put you off necromancia permanently. It handles adult subject worse than early Torchwood did. Oh, God. I did predict avoid Victoria. Oh, good call. Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yes, but I'm very, very far behind. Have you watched The Magicians? No. Sorry. In these times of hardship, it's important to remember the one and only true rule of a functioning society. It's every man for himself. Follow my Instagram. Thank you, Joel. You're lucky she's not looking. What am I not looking? Wait a minute. What was I not looking at? So I gather from tonight's chat and recent video, your ideal Doctor Who episode would be the Doctor as the timeless child doing a Dead Poet Society remake with Clara as his companion. Oh, cruel. I thought you'd pick Avoid Mel. She was in consideration. I have a conspiracy theory. Why is there no question mark in Doctor Who? It's a question. Oh, dear. Let's see. How goes your reading of DC Bombshells? I only did the first volume. I don't have any of the others at present. It was all right. I had fun with it. I think I'm going to appreciate Missy more during my rewatch now that I know where they're going with her arc. I still hate the kiss that happened in Dark Water, though. I haven't seen that episode in a while, so I can't say. I will say that in general, I keep seeing kisses that I'd forgotten about. Like, the review won't be up for a bit, but I recently rewatched The Crimson Horror, and I forgot that the Doctor kissed Jenny. I mean, granted, she smacks him for it, which I appreciated, but, like, still, why? Did you know about the Doctor Who audio ripoffs made after it stopped for the first time and starts Sylvester McCoy as the Professor and Ace? I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me at all. What if the Absorbaloff was the timeless child? See, now you're just trying to bait me, and when I know that's what you're trying to do, I can brush it off. I have a conversational opinion. I don't like Series 6. Okay. Do you like Rimmer's replacement in season 7 of Red Dwarf? I feel like I'm drawing a blank there. I don't remember Rimmer ever being replaced. Adric is winking at you, but Tegan is kicking him. Basically, it is TNA. Oh. I'll go back in the corner. Yeah, do that. Colin Baker also made videos as the Stranger. Ideal casting of Barry Allen in a standalone Flash film. Now Ezra Miller might be out of the picture. An unknown, ideally, so nobody I could name. Have you ever seen The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? I have not. I can't speak for whether or not Ezra's incident represents him as a person, but I'd be really surprised if he's still the Flash at this point. I mean, the thing is, the Flash movie has been coming together and falling apart and coming together and falling apart over and over and over and over again for so long, and DC seems prepared to completely just drop that continuity anyway. So, like, I don't think they'd have any reason to keep them around. I don't think that necessarily means they're going to replace the Flash. They might just say heck with it and work with other characters for a while. What's your favorite Farscape character? Harvey. If you could meet one deceased Doctor actor, Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Hurt, which would it be? Ooh. If I'm meeting the actor as opposed to the character, probably Pertwee. I had this opinion, but do you think in Chibnall's era the Doctor's been domesticated? The Doctor's always against domestic. Really, it's not just me that thinks this. I don't know why you'd consider this Doctor to be any more domesticated than any other Doctor. I would actually argue that 12 was pretty domesticated for a chunk of time there. Is it bad? My ultimate aim is to see someone cosplaying one of the characters from my short films. No. Not unless you consider it bad that one of my ultimate aims is for the book that I'm working on to be popular enough to generate fan art and a fan wiki. So, I feel ya. This is my apology. Thank you. By the way, if you ever want to see a car crash of a show, check out the various American version Red Dwarf pilots. I already have. I've seen them, or I've seen one of them. I guess they did more than one. I've only seen the one, but boy, I sent you a video on Instagram about the Doctor Who knockoffs. All right, cool. Check that out at some point. Do you feel the new companions lack a sense of relationship with the Doctor? Yeah. As we've gotten through series 12 and she became a bit more prickly, I have to wonder if part of that was intended, that having a more crowded TARDIS was a way to delay the revelation that she's actually not connecting with these people as much as the Doctor normally connects with companions, and that it takes you longer to notice. That may have honestly been the plan, but it may have worked to that effect, but I think the ultimate result is, as audience members, we don't really know this Doctor very well, because so much of how we know the Doctor is through their relationship with the companions, and the 13th doesn't really have nearly as strong a one. Snog, marry, avoid, Rimmer, Lister the cat. Snog the cat, marry Lister, avoid Rimmer. Would you want Jodie to stay for another series after 13? Personally, I would, because she's an amazing Doctor and is bubbly in her darker moments. That's why she's my favorite Doctor. I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to largely depend on what I think of Series 13, to be honest. I'm not expecting her to, because at this point I just kind of assume 3 series is going to be standard, but we'll see. What Batman Joker mix and match would you like to see, if any? Example, Adam West Batman against Heath Ledger's Joker. Ooh. That is... Ooh. I actually don't know, because under the best circumstances, the Batman is always well tailored to the Joker he has. I suppose... I just had the stupidest idea. Ben Affleck's Batman taking on the Arkhamverse Joker, but specifically the Arkhamverse Joker from the very end of Arkham Asylum. So the roided up Titan formula Joker, because that feels like it would fit with the Snyder version of all of that. Would you cosplay Cross Race, for example, latest Master, even though technically not human? I would not. No. I'm not gonna make any statements about whether or not anyone else can or should. I will say, never darken your skin. Just don't do that. The feelings about whether or not it is okay to crossplay as a character of another race, even if you're not darkening your skin, is one that there's a lot of different opinions on. And it's one I don't feel equipped to weigh in on. What I'll say is that for my own personal comfort, I would not be comfortable cosplaying as anyone who was very clearly not of a similar ethnic heritage to myself. But that's me in personal comfort. That's not even like, oh, you shouldn't. Like, I wouldn't, because I would feel really weird and awkward doing that. Do you think the 13th Doctor is too human like the 10th? I don't think so. That doesn't automatically mean that I'll ultimately like her better than the 10th, but I don't think so. That'd be the greatest Batman-Joker fight ever. That'd be hilarious. Thank you. I'm kind of oddly proud of that. Do you think 13 will go down the whole Time Lord victorious route because she's the timeless child and kind of a godlike figure? I honestly don't know. I suppose it's possible. It really does depend on what Chibnall decides he wants to do with this storyline now that it's out in the open. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! All right. I am going to wrap it up soon and drink the rest of this in peace so that I can slur my words away from the rest of you. Ace Rimmer, what a guy. Casually sips wine. Well, yes. Should always do so casually. Unless you're in a hurry. In which case, chug, 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 chug. Have you read any of the Companions of Doctor books? I have not. Persistent coughing of the Daleks. A second class. Oh, usually the end of the class means the end of the stream. Well, the stream is still going to end. Just guess I wanted to put out in the world like, I'm not done drinking today. But, I love you committing to your water intake. Do you think that Chibnall actually has a 5-year plan from the gear shift from series 11 to 12? I'm going to guess no. What storyline? If we ignore it, it will disappear. Very good. You're learning. Have a good evening. I have to go. All right. I am going to wrap up, but I want to answer Ben's question. So, here's the thing. I actually do believe him that he has a 5-year plan. The question becomes how much he sticks to it. And I think, honestly, I think it was probably a problem with his overall approach that he had a 5-year plan as opposed to a 3-year plan. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at the progression of just the Doctor as a character from series 11 to series 12. And I can see how these are like steps 1 and steps 2 to something that's going to happen later. But if he's doing this geared towards something that's not going to happen for another 3 series after this, I think that was a mistake. I think he should have narrowed down and come up, if he wanted a plan, to have a 3-year plan so that it's a clearer trajectory. And it's less likely to go off the rails in the process. Take it, sleazy. Thank you. Because the problem with the further out that you plan, the more room there is for things to go off the rails. The tighter the plan, the more you'll just get to execute what it is you're planning. The longer it stretches out, the more things that you can't control can throw you off. Because there are some things that we will probably never know. Whether or not it was always planned for Ryan and Graham to leave at the point that they're leaving. Was that always the plan? Or did Bradley Walsh say, I can't keep doing this schedule? And that wasn't part of the plan. Who knows? If it wasn't part of the plan, that means things have to change and they have to shift. You know, if Jodie Whittaker decides to leave after Series 13, was that always part of the plan? If it's not, how does that affect the plan? Are plans being adjusted based off audience response? You know, I think there's this idealization of this concept of a long-term plan. And I think we get hung up on that because we remember Lost, which was a show that didn't have a plan, but everyone thought they did, and then by the end you realize, oh, you guys were just making it up as you went along. And then we see a handful of very well executed things that clearly had plans in place, like first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, and things like that, where clearly a plan was in place and was followed. But it's really, really, really tough to take a plan and stick with it. And the longer term it is, the harder it's going to be to nail down and keep on track, because things will change that you can't help. So, Chibnall's recently said he has a 3-season plan, which makes me think he's trimmed down to getting out of the show earlier due to the backlash, but that's speculation. Well, when he says 3-season plan, is that 3-season from when he started, or 3-season from, like, now? Because if he has a 3-season plan, like, right now, that is 3 plus the 2 he already did, so that's 5 again. So, question is when he said that. Anything non-TV can be ignored. Yeah, canon with Doctor Who is anything that isn't the TV show is basically optional. For example, they never planned all 10 years of the MCU from day one. Exactly. And look, there's benefits and there's hazards to doing it either way. So I've already talked about the hazards of having a long-term plan, which is that can you adjust the plan as you go? Because that was actually the same thing that went wrong with the DCEU and with Zack and with Justice League and everything that was supposed to happen after it. They went in to they came out of Batman v Superman and were leading up to the premiere of that film with a plan. They had a plan for Justice League. Suicide Squad was already there. They had a plan. And then Batman v Superman did not make the money they expected, and it definitely didn't get the reception they wanted. And suddenly, they have to scramble and try and change something that's already thundering down a track. They're trying to tear up the track while the train's still in motion. So that's how badly it can go wrong when you have a plan. When you don't have a plan, you can sometimes end up with something like Lost. But for the most part, I actually think it works better to not have a plan past 1, maybe 2 seasons. It's not to say don't have any ideas for after that, but an active plan, keep it to that. Because then once you finish your initial plan, you go, great, what can we do next? Because that's a big part of how the MCU was constructed. They didn't have a master plan. They made it up as they went, but they also built something malleable enough that they could make the adjustments they needed to as it was going. With the reason Lost failed so hard is not because they made it up as they went along. It's because they made it up as they went along, but it was a show built around a mystery. It was built around the entire hype, the entire fandom was built around, don't you want to know the answers? But there weren't any. So the fact that they made that up as it went along failed so hard was because the entire premise and appeal of the show depended on there being a plan, but there wasn't one. So as long as you don't do that, I actually think for the most part, it's smarter to not have a locked-in plan. And that's not to say locked-in plans never worked. Breaking Bad worked very well. But even that, they still made adjustments. They still made alterations to the original plan. But that still did basically go the way that they wanted it to. You're very angry at the Timeless Child trying to hide something. Council of Geeks is the Timeless Child. Oh, God, they're on to me. Gotham and the Russell T Davies era Doctor Who are the best example of not having a plan. See, here's the thing. I not only do I agree, but I would actually argue the reason season 5 of Gotham is so bad is because they did have a plan, but they had a plan for a full season, and they only got 13 episodes, and they tried to execute it anyways, and it was junk. It didn't help that the showrunners played up that there was a scientifically reasonable plan. Yeah, yep, pretty much. Do you even have a plan? Do I look like someone who has a plan? Even The Wire screwed the pooch in season 5. I still haven't seen The Wire. I hope nothing is done with the universe the Timeless Child came from. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that that's a thing that they could theoretically dip into. That would reestablish the Divergent arc that wasn't even that good when Big Finish did it. I don't even know, but I'll trust you. Clara and me are the Timeless Children. Batman Returns or Batman Forever? Batman Forever. It's more fun. I have a plan for a series compiled of a load of random ideas that I need to turn into whole episodes. So that actually sounds like how I started this channel. Improv is as important skill as planning. Divergent, sorry, not Divergent. I was wondering if that was a typo. Do you think Chibnall would bring back Susan or Jenny? I have no idea. TNG didn't have a plan and had a better ending than Lost. Don't say you hope something will happen. It'll just tempt fate. You know that. What if Chris Chibnall cast himself as the Doctor? That would just be weird. With everyone asking for TV show recommendations, I'll keep plugging Gallivant. Yes! Yes, pirates, please do. Ah! If you have Netflix, you can watch Gallivant. It's 2 seasons. It's awesome. Season 1 is fun. Season 2 is great. And I don't know when, but I am gonna make a video highlighting King Richard and why he is freaking awesome. If I were a jolly blacksmith, what a happy guy I'd be. Whatever live stream you try to make, it always turns into a Doctor Who Q&A. I know, that was why the last Q&A was very explicitly not Doctor Who questions. I will forever recommend Merlin. I get that one. Recommend it. I love King Richard. Right? Oh, Richard's the best. I'm going to make my once per stream plug for The Expanse. Think you'll love it. I appreciate that you keep plugging at that. Do you think Susan knew the Doctor had lives before? I have no idea. I don't know. Everybody, I want to kill my brother. Drinks are on me. Richard was the best. She'll Be Mine's my favorite song from Gallivant. Ooh, favorite song. See, this is a weird one. I actually think the recap song that the Jester does towards the end of season 2 is my favorite because it's the song from the very start of the show on steroids. And it's super fast going through everything that had gone on that season up to that point. Oh, it's good. And I can sing that one. And it's in my range. Most of the Jester's stuff is in my range. Actually, Gallivant's out of my range. Sid's out of my range. Richard is in my range. The Jester is in my range. So I get to sing them. And that's a lot of fun. I will always recommend The Thick of It. Malcolm Tucker is my spirit animal. Unfortunately, I can't quote him. I'll get the archived version of this demonetized. This live stream is sponsored by Rafe Dark Myths. Use code Geeks to get 0% off your first purchase. Late joke, but you never noticed it. I don't mind. I'm drinking. Which would be better, U.S. Doctor or British Star Trek? I feel like British Star Trek already happened. It was called Blake 7. But I was like, why do you wear your hair to that side? Because this is the natural part of my hair, and this is the way my hair wants to go. If I try and do it the other way, it can work, but like my hair fights it. It doesn't like going that way. So like that's just my natural part. So that's why it is the way that it is. I liked how Eccleston would casually avoid complicated questions. I'm bad at processing sci-fi explanations. The other ways go 80s. Okay, so Pennywise and the Cybermen get into a fight. Who wins? I mean, probably Pennywise if it's only one Cyberman. Oh, wearing hair the other. Well, I think that's just because it poofed up more, trying to put it the other way. Which classic Who companion would fit best with the 13th Doctor? I don't know if it actually would be the case, but I'm going to say Jamie because I love Jamie because Jamie's the best. Ever noticed how Zombieland is just American Shaun of the Dead? I hadn't thought that, but yeah, basically is. I was going to wrap up. I'm still here. What the heck? Recently, my favorite childhood book series started again. The protagonist came out as bisexual, has more blatant LGBTQ plus representation. I'm very proud of Skullduggery Pleasant. That's very cool. The Zorloff gets into a fight with Quicksand. Who wins? You don't mess with Quicksand, man. Can we just have a Gallivant sing-along stream? She asked, hopefully. Here's the thing about that. I would honestly be happy to do it. The problem is I'm pretty sure the stream would get shut down. Like, remember when I tried to read from a Doctor Who Decide Your Destiny book and the live stream got shut down because the bots detected that I was reading copyrighted work? I'm pretty sure the same thing's going to happen if I sing more than a couple of bars of any given song. So, for me to do any kind of a sing-along stream, it couldn't be on YouTube. It would have to be somewhere else. And I don't know where it would be or how that would work. But I was about to suggest 13 and Jamie. That'd be hysterical. I can imagine Jamie thinking the Doctor has been transformed into a woman since he never really learned about regeneration. Yeah, that would throw him off. Twitch? I don't know. Don't you need to be gaming to do Twitch? When's the next bath time stream? I can't get your arms out of my head. I mean, I didn't say that. Like, really? That do it for you? All right. I mean, I suppose you could play. You can play Connect the Dots. It's a race against River and Jack. Who kisses the Doctor first? Oh. See, that's tricky because they both fight dirty. Not anymore. There's all kinds of stuff on Twitch these days. I hate trying to learn other platforms. Ooh, elbow. How risque. Yes, I know. Hey, Carolyn, what's up? Did I miss something? No arms. Think of the children. You can stream on Insta. I suppose. What is a Twitch? Oh, everyone's Zoom. Boy, what a glorious disaster that would be. Imagine 13 and 12 meeting. Comedy gold. Comedy gold. I'm telling you, it's comedy gold. Hilarious. No, you're good. Just a few thoughts running through my head. Oh, wheels spinning. Thoughts on how River always says her phrases the same way. It quite annoys me. It's catchphrases. I'm okay with that. Wrap up this live stream already. Given that you spelled rap without a W, I'm not entirely sure what you're encouraging me to do there. As an American, he has the right to bear arms. God. Oh. Fourth Doctor and Graham would be comedy gold. Oh, that would be something. What is on your isolation binge list? American Gods at the moment. Thanks for your video on positive masculinity. You're welcome. I was actually really, really happy with how that turned out. And I'm glad that people liked it as much as they did. Excuse me. Donna plus River plus Captain Jack plus Dr. 4 equals objectively quality and also not kid friendly. Oh, goodness. Give me a break. It's 2 a.m. here. My eyes are hurting. I'm not making you stay up. You're choosing to. Whoever wants the tux to be 13's new costume. The tux did work pretty well. Have you considered making a favorite characters in fiction list for the video? I've made one that had the Doctor, the Master, and Captain Holt on it. No, I hadn't figured that just because I'm not sure I could wrap my head around a subject that broad. And I need to narrow it down. Do you watch The Crown? No. My mother watches The Crown. I never got into it. I can't wait for the episode that takes place at the Pizza Express. Okay. Thoughts on the passing of Honor Blackman? Oh, yeah. That was a bummer. So, in case folks don't know that name, actress Honor Blackman, who is best known for playing... Don't demonetize me for saying this, YouTube, for God's sake. Pussy Galore in Goldfinger. Passed away. That was a bit of a shame. Bingy the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons. I didn't have a stroke. That's how it's spelled. Bingy. Next are all 4 Toy Story movies in a row. Nice. May I say you are quite lovely in a crisis. I hope you get the reference. Oh. I feel like I did, but like it's not coalescing properly in my head. I know I recognize that. All about those sexy hands. Ooh. Fresh nail color. Got that going for me. So it's not chipped. Hey! I actually do. I enjoy just doing stuff with fingers. I tend to find myself, especially when I have nail polish on, just enjoying the movement of fingers. Left the live stream to watch Gallivant. Saw the first 5 seconds and I love it. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna. One of the things I'm trying to do, and it was kind of a general goal anyway, but definitely a goal this summer. What brand polish do you use? Oh, I'm all over the place. I can't even remember what I've got on my fingers right now because it's actually 2 different polishes and a top coat, and I'm pretty sure from 3 different brands. But what was I gonna say? Oh, so I think I'm trying to do is I am trying to do some things that really geared towards stuff that I love, and I don't just mean like why it's awesome videos. I mean things like that are really more proper deep dives into things. I'm working on editing something right now that'll be for May that I'm really enjoying doing. I have plans to do a couple more. I'm gonna try and squeeze in a couple more fan videos for the break room related to She-Ra that I want to get up before the new season starts. So I want to try and get an Entrapta fan video up and possibly one more after that, depending on how long it takes me, because finding fun is really important right now. I've cracked it. Benny is the timeless child. Yep. Rewatched Midnight. I study psychology, so it reminds me of stuff like the Stanford Prison Experiment. Oh, yeah. Or Milgram studies that have environments and stimuli that makes people immoral. Yep. Doctor Companion mashups. 2 in Amy, 3 in Donna. That'd be interesting. 4 in Graham, 7 in Sarah Jane. Okay. 9 in Tegan. Okay, that I could see. 12 in Ace. Yes! Yes! 12 and ace forever. Oh my God, yes. Xena Warrior Princess is also being run as a marathon, just saying. Okay, I do need to wrap up and drink the rest of this. I hope everybody is staying safe, staying sane. That's the thing that I think we need to add to that. Stay safe at this point might start being the easy part, and now it's stay safe and stay sane. It's the combo. That's the tricky part. But I hope everybody has a good night, and I wish the best for all of you. So just remember, you are beautiful, you are valid, you are loved, you are the council. I'm just running the meetings. Have a good night.